was made homeless by the force of the sea. I was like any other refugee.
Whichever way you cut it, all of us that live on the coast of this country are absolutely the front line of climate change.
I can't sell up because who'd want to buy a house here?
You're losing irreplaceable heritage, everything that people have been based upon.
When I get older and if I decide to have children, I won't be able to bring them back to somewhere that I grew up.
I never lived in a village until I moved here. I moved into the bungalow in 2009. It was indescribably lovely. When I moved in, the bungalow was 40 feet away from the edge of the cliff. As the cliff receded, my bungalow got closer and closer by the day.
Well, certainly in the last 10 years or so, we've probably lost about 20 metres of coast in different places along here. But if you look out to the sea here, there used to be houses directly in front of us.
The government had had a policy for 50 years of defending this part of the coast, but they, for whatever reason, didn't cough up to maintain the defences. The defences failed. It started to erode rapidly.
In 2013, we had the highest tide for 60 years, and that caused a lot of damage to the cliffs, and we lost a number of houses over there.
I wrote to the council. It was a mistake looking back, and I said, I'm going to have to take the lean-to down because it's getting dangerously near the edge of the cliff. And they said, you need planning permission to do that. The night of the tidal surge, I moved over into the caravan on the other side of the road. In the morning, I looked across at the bungalow and I thought, it's still there, I'm safe. But when I went towards it, I could see that the whole of the cliff under a third of the bungalow had just vanished. They came literally a week later, bit the bungalow to pieces with this big dinosaur-like machine. My friends and my family had gathered round me then, but it was all very difficult at the time. Sorry.
One minister in particular got £19 million to take account of global warming, rising sea levels and climate change. It's called the Pathfinder Project. It's a real method of adaptation. We managed to purchase 9 properties which were at immediate risk to allow those people to move on with their lives.
I made a decision to turn down the Pathfinder funding to move. At that time, the cliff was eroding very slowly because there were 3 lines of sea defence. There was no prospect of losing my house for between 15 and 25 years.
Coastal erosion is not a risk, it's a certainty, it's just a matter of when. No matter what you do here on the ground, you can't change the fact that much of the coast is getting worse due to rising sea levels.
I don't want to move from here until I have to. I'm not going to be daft and stay here, right, and endanger myself, but it is my home. I'm Nicola Bayliss and I've lived in Haysborough for 16 years and my house is close to falling into the sea due to coastal erosion. It is quite distressing because this is where my family grew up and my life with my husband. So, and it's quite a upsetting thought that it's going to happen, but it is going to happen. It has got lots of memories. My husband passed away 4 years ago in April, suddenly, so it wasn't expected. So, it's even more precious to me.
This is my dad's bench. We had made in memory of him, somewhere that we can go to sort of reflect on everything. There's been several times I've sat there during the night and there's been like a storm or something and I've been like, is the bench still there? And I'll look out my mum's window and see if it's still there or not.
But you're taking away everything that people have been based upon, and there are all sorts of issues nowadays. It is a really serious issue as far as mental health is concerned. People have a daily worry. They're looking at not being able to hand their property or their possessions to their children or their grandchildren.
No matter how far you move inland, at some point there is going to be a time where you're going to have to move again. And the memories are going to go that you make in that house. And that's the same with anywhere, really. But with here, it's a sort of factor that you have to move or else something bad could happen.
The Hill House has been a pub since 1610. It's got a huge history. Associations include Sir Arthur Conan Doyle, who wrote a Sherlock Holmes story here in the building. We have a huge heritage in this country, right through from our Norman church, right through to this day and age, and we had a huge influence worldwide because of that heritage. And we are in danger of throwing it away because nobody values it.
All this were my possessions, which were in the sheds, which were now over there, beyond where the cliff is now. But so much of my life has just rotted away from the salt air and the rain because I've just got nowhere to put it. I think we have to keep fighting for our coastline, and it's much easier to do it if you actually live here. I moved into the house which was nearest in character and position to my bungalow. So I'm still on the edge of the village, still being able to look over the sea. But the lying reason is that I feel we cannot just stand by and say, Haysborough can go, we will do nothing about it. I felt very strongly that if I am living in a position of danger myself, it is going to focus my mind better than if I moved to a comfortable place inland where I would probably do as the rest of people do inland, forget about coastal erosion.
The climate we can see is changing.
I don't know when I'm going to pack up because I want to be here until I have to be. No one's approached us to say prepare for this and that because I don't know how long it's going to be.
All of the predictions from all of the scientists around the world are that it is going to change more dramatically.
It's that awful old cliche, you know, everybody knows the price of everything and the value of nothing. We have to value our heritage. But again, once it's gone, it's gone.
The momentum is going to pick up. So once it starts changing, it will change more and more.
There was one good thing that came out of losing my home, and that was that it made me understand why people after a tsunami sit and do nothing, because the shock of losing your home abruptly takes away your ability to make any decision about anything.
And the net result of that could be catastrophic.